the I-Team tonight. Police are hired to protect and serve, but in recent years, many have been arrested and charged with numerous crimes.
In the last 12 months, more than half dozen NOPD officers have been booked on various charges. In many of those cases, the cops are placed on what the department refers to as emergency suspension without pay.
But the WDSU I-Team has learned that type of suspension only lasts so long, and some officers charged with serious crimes are currently back on the job, much to the surprise of some.
Investigative reporter Travers Mackel live in studio at 6 o'clock with who those cops are, what they're accused of doing, and why some say it's a potentially dangerous situation. Travers.
Camille, we found 3 NOPD officers recently charged with felony and serious misdemeanor offenses already back at work. Their cases remain open and active, and if they're convicted, the officers all face jail time. In 2 of the matters, the toughest sentence could send that officer to prison for the rest of his life. But the department notes each is innocent until proven guilty, and until all plays out in court, the accused will still wear the badge. This may be the North Shore, but folks in this quiet Mandeville neighborhood know the New Orleans police sergeant who lives nearby. So many were shocked last year when 54-year-old Bradley Wax, a 16-year veteran of the NOPD, was arrested and charged with 38 counts of being in possession of child pornography. When Wax was booked, the Louisiana Attorney General's office said investigators had found pornographic images of children on computers and other electronic devices. Because of the nature of the crime and the number of counts filed, Wax faces a worst-case scenario of more than 500 years behind bars if convicted. The department wasted no time in announcing that Wax had been placed on emergency suspension without pay. That was late April 2014. But 12 months later, we found Wax on the job carrying a sidearm, working in fleet management at NOPD headquarters in Mid-City. Pseudocriminologist Dr. John Penny has followed NOPD issues for the bulk of his career.
It's incredibly hard to imagine, Travis, that anyone in that capacity would be back working and being paid for it at the taxpayer's expense.
But Wax is, and he's not alone. In February of 2014, longtime NOPD officer Michael Thomasy was arrested and charged with aggravated rape. That's the state's most serious sex assault charge. In Thomasy's case, prosecutors say the alleged victim was a child in his care and was younger than 10 years old when the crimes occurred. As with Wax, the department placed Thomasy on emergency suspension without pay. But we found him working here in Algiers behind a desk in the 4th District.
You're Officer Thomasy, huh?
We asked the NOPD why both of these men, facing serious felony charges, were back on the job. They declined our request for an on-camera interview, but did send us this statement, which reads, "An emergency suspension is generally used as a tool for emergency situations when an officer has been arrested and is physically unable to come to work and perform their duties. Once the officer is able to return to work, they are reassigned to administrative duties pending the outcome of an investigation. Based on civil service rules, officers are disciplined after an investigation is completed and the formal disciplinary hearing has been held." Both Wax and Thomasy are set to go to trial this summer. The Police Association of New Orleans admits the situation is difficult given the charges, but says the officers are innocent until proven guilty. And a spokesperson claimed that even though they wear the shield and wield the authority of any other officer,
it's very rare that they will be interacting with the public in any fashion.
Wax is assigned to the Fleet Division and Thomasy is on desk duty. Different roles than they held prior to their arrest, but Penny is still concerned.
It sends home a very dangerous message to the citizenry of this community.
NOPD spokesperson Tyler Gamble explained that, according to policy, an employee can only be suspended up to 120 days, and that puts the city in a quandary. It also brings us to Officer Anani Mitchell, a member of the NOPD's Gang Task Force, arrested in early March and charged with soliciting a prostitute, a misdemeanor, Just like Wax and Thomasy, Mitchell was placed on emergency suspension without pay. But less than 2 months later, after about 50 days, he was back at work. Again, rules require reinstatement only after 120 days have passed. The NOPD declined to comment on the Mitchell case in detail, telling us that he's assigned to the mailroom at headquarters.
I mean, the initial reaction is, oh my God.
Rebecca Rainey runs the Metropolitan Center for Women and Children. While she understands the tough position the city is in, she believes there's a real risk in having officers on the job while under indictment.
I mean, I would think in any work environment, people that are charged with those kind of crimes, there's a fine line, there's a liability when you bring them back.
The appropriate action was taken. Now you step back from that and say, well, we can put them back on the force and we can pay them. So it sends home an incredibly dangerous message.
Lawyers for all three officers say their clients are innocent and they plan to prove that in court. We asked the department spokesperson directly if the officers were brought back due to the well-documented lack of officers on the job. They said no. Camille?
All right, Travers, and we spoke with 2 local law enforcement entities that tell us if officers in their respected areas are arrested and charged with crimes like rape and possession of child porn, they would be fired.